Good day, everybody. How y'all doing? It's Nathaniel Evans. I'm a Data Podcast with my host, co-host Jeannie Muhammad, your global happiness expert. We're here today once again to speak to y'all. About some exciting things that we hear about, what we have been through, and what we are learning. Please subscribe to our channel. Connect with us on a higher plane. Reach out to us. And we're always here. And with that, I'm gonna let Jeannie go.
Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. I am Jeannie Muhammad, your global happiness expert. Thankful and grateful to be here with Nathaniel talking. Nathaniel is the leadership guru, and he talks about leadership. I talk about the happiness that's involved in life in general and the happiness involved in being a leader. And you know how there's so many of us that have been lost in our challenges in life. And I strive to be the person that empowers, inspire, and encourage us to know that we have a great power within us. And once that power is activated, there is no stopping us in whatever we determine that our purpose is for being here at this time in this place. I am grateful. I am grateful for this day, and I wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. Even though we always say in the Nation of Islam that every day is Mother's Day, and this day is set aside a lot of times for commercial reasons, so people can uh, profit from this day. But every day is Mother's Day. Every day is a day to honor not only mothers, but people all over. It's a day to honor humanity every day. Don't set
Mm.
aside just one day. And so now I'm getting into my soap opera and getting on my soapbox. But I just want to say that I
Yeah.
am grateful. I'm grateful for this day, and I'm grateful for being here with everyone. I'm grateful for Nathaniel. I can never express my gratitude enough for him and all the hard work that he does consistently behind the scenes to facilitate striving to make I am the data a success. He does it without any complaint and without, he doesn't, he's a very humble brother. So I'm just thankful for him for this day and for that subject of be there for you. Be there for you. And so thank you, Nathaniel, for all of your tireless work and working through no matter what the obstacles may be. You always strive to be there, and I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I appreciate you the same, Jeannie. I ain't write out my speech, for you this morning, but you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I
But,
want to hear the whole speech,
yeah,
Nathaniel.
you know what I'm saying? So I definitely yeah, but I definitely feel the love, the appreciation. Yeah, and it does take a lot of work to do this work here. Even that's what they just say a podcast. A podcast has many different elements to it that people don't look at. It's a lot of things that we build. They have so many intricate parts to them, and we really don't understand what it takes a lot of times to accomplish things or to strive to be your best at something, and to actually really get involved in the process and see, oh well, I gotta put this here, put this here. So it's a growth thing. It's understanding that you got to put work into the things that you want to do in life, and nothing's going to come easy. Even though it may seem like that when we're on TV, and stuff like that, but this is real life, right? We're in the moment, so to speak, and we can't shake real life. We try to escape it and do many different things to run from it, but it's here to stay. It's like it's with us. It's
And you
like
know what, Nathaniel? That is really be there for you. you know, when you show up, when I show up, we're being there
That's right.
for us to share us, to share what life, the life lessons that we have been taught, so that we can share with humanity the lessons that we have been taught, so that we can strive to aid someone in
Mhm.
their growth and their development. And so that to me is us being here for us, for being there for you, me being here for you. So it's all tied into that subject. I was that subject is, it carries so much weight.
Yeah, yeah, because you just challenged so much in this life to gather yourself and spread yourself all over the world, right? You're constantly, pulled on and pushed, and encouraged and motivated to get involved with all these different things that's in society. You want to be a politician, you want to be a teacher, you want to be a multimillionaire, you want to be the greatest, like Jeannie, one of the greatest motivation speakers in the world, right? You can see
Oh,
her ads up there about being a great motivational speaker with the crown, right? I seen that. You know what I'm saying? She think I don't be seeing it, but I seen it. You know what I'm saying? So it's things that we want to be a part of, and we come outside of ourselves to be a part of that world, of this life that's here. A lot of times I look at it as like robbing life, right? It's it's kind of like it's like tapping in to a world sometime that you're supposed to get involved in. Even though we're here in the world, there are some things that we know we're not supposed to get involved in. There's some things, some directions that we know we're not supposed to go in. And those things that we see that's resistance for us, they are to protect us, right? So even though we're there for us, we have to be here for who we are, but the universe is here for who we are as well. A lot of times when we come off our tracks, the universe comes back and to remind us about who we are, and what we can actually become. And because sometimes we have ourselves spread out so much into the world, we don't know where to start regathering all those resources, all those tools about who we are out into the world, right? And then we need them, who will actually freely give those tools and resources back to us to help us through our healing process as we actually going through our changes. This life right here has so many different elements to it, but one of the elements I actually see all the time is the power to heal.
oh yes,
We have the power to heal the world. It's it's
yes,
right there at our fingertips. It's at the tip of our tongue. Is in the beauty of our eyes. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? It's in the glory of our listening ears, right? We have the power to be great in the world, right? And to do beautiful things in the world, not just in our lives, but in the lives that surround us, right? There's life
yes,
life is budding everywhere. If life was a field of flowers, you'd be like, hooray, 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 hooray. Because every time you turn around, you see this
yes,
popping. You're like, oh my God, what's going on? What's going on here? You'll be so excited because life is a parade. It's a parade, it's a non-ending parade. It's always moving, right? And it doesn't stop. And it's about the glory of who we are, right?
yes,
Who we are, that those connectors that we find in the world or make us who we are. When we scream out, glory. I found me. I found this. I achieved this. I've done that, right? We do all these amazing things. And these are gifts for us to be able to be in those levels of expression. And
yes,
when I first started, I want you to understand that these gifts are essential to your development. They're
yes, they
essential to
are.
the beauty of your life and to even give you the beauty of life itself. And when we take
Yes,
who we are and we put ourselves all out into the world and forget to say part of that we give out into the world for ourselves, these beautiful things that's given to us, or that we experience, or even develop, or encourage in our lives, they slowly start to move away from us.
And that's right. And because we should, whatever we give to the world, we should give to ourselves first.
That's correct.
Whatever I'm offering to anyone else, it starts with me giving that compassion, that kindness, those words of encouragement to myself. And when I can give that to myself in and be grateful to be able to give that to myself, I can give it to other people. And I just want to say, because I'm excited about something that happened yesterday, Nathaniel. Do you are you familiar with Jackie Wilson,
Jackie Wilson.
the singer?
Yes, I heard of Jackie Wilson.
Oh, you should do more than just hear about him. I encourage
Oh,
you.
him or Jackie Wilson. Oh, okay.
I
What do you sing,
encourage you.
what do you sing about?
Lonely Teardrops, uh Reek Petite.
Do a verse
Uh,
for us.
you are so nasty sometimes, Nathaniel.
That's what I thought you was getting at.
Oh, she gonna sing a song
Yeah.
about Jackie Wilson. I tell you, you so nimble with your fingers.
You
You
said
go
Lonely Tears?
go to YouTube right now. Go to
You said
YouTube.
Lonely Tears, right?
Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. I'm not. I'm serious, Nathaniel Evans. I want you to go to YouTube.
Let me go to YouTube.
This is an instruction.
Let me go to YouTube.
Yes, this is this is an instruction from your mother.
Oh,
Okay,
guys, kidding.
okay. Go to YouTube and Google for Jackie Wilson. I want you to do that right now, even as we speak. And I'm gonna, as he is doing that, I'm gonna tell my story about, because Jackie Wilson growing up, and see, this is dating me, but I don't mind being dated because I know that it's a blessing to be dated. So growing up, one of my favorite entertainers was Jackie Wilson. And he he has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful voice. And he died. When he died, it broke my heart because he was such a talented person. And really, and I'm saying this because this title is Be There for You. Actually, he was not there for himself, even though he had all of this talent and he was blessed with all of this talent. He abused a lot of his life, and and he was not kind to himself in a lot of ways. But because he had a beautiful, beautiful voice, he had over 20 number one hits, and he was a king in the music industry. And so when he died, it broke my heart because I used to, every time I had an opportunity, I would go to one of his concerts. So when he died, I was really it broke my heart. And the connection is such that he was born on my oldest son's birthday and he died on my youngest son's birthday. And it really broke my heart. Well, yesterday, I found out that he had a son that nobody knew about, that looks just like him, sounds just like him. And the story of Bobby Brooks Wilson, it was so inspiring because it showed.
That's something different. I didn't find it one. You said
Lonely Teardrops.
Lonely Teardrops?
Lonely Teardrops.
All right, hold on. Let me find it real quick. I can play it for the people.
Okay, please do.
Let me see.
You go now. Might not sing, but I might dance.
Oh man, that's gonna be a treat, guys.
Is fine, fine. Lonely teardrops. Why do never drown? Lonely teardrops. Come home, come home. Just say you will, say you will. Say you will. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was awesome. We don't own copyrights to this music, guys.
No, we don't own the copyrights to this music. We're just playing it simply to demonstrate to you raw talent.
Mm.
Now,
Yeah.
I found out yesterday, Nathaniel, that he has a son that nobody knew about. Nobody knew about.
Mm.
And the son was in the foster care system. His mother gave him away.
Mm.
He was born in New York, but he ended up in the foster care system in South Carolina. And it's only been recently that he found out that Jackie Wilson is actually his biological father. But he had been doing singing and singing Jackie Wilson songs and in the entertainment. And wait, now what I want you to do next, Nathaniel, look up Bobby, go to YouTube, look up Bobby Brooks Wilson, Bobby Brooks Wilson, Lonely Teardrop. Look up him, and I want you to play his Lonely Teardrops. And I am so, and I really am so inspired by this story. And I encourage anyone that wants to be inspired, because sometimes we go through difficulties in life and we don't understand why we are being allowed to go through these different difficulties, but actually it's building us up into who we are, and that will help us to know who we are. When you say, okay, you're looking. My heart is crying, crying, only teardrops. But you'll never try from the lonely teardrops. Come home, come home. Just say you will, say you will, say you will. My heart is crying, crying.
Wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Isn't that something?
That's amazing. We don't own copyrights to that music either. That was amazing. I can see what you're talking about as far as the transitional aspect of life. How life is that continuum. I was talking about, popping in the field all day, every day, and the power of life. Like, even though he never met his father, he never knew that was his father, but he actually transitioned into that metamorphosis, right?
Yes.
Right.
And
So
did you see the picture?
Yeah.
I don't know if you looked at the picture of him, Jackie Wilson, and then you looked at him.
Yeah.
It was like seeing him reincarnated.
Yeah, and I think that's one of our beauties of the continuum of life. And I think like that's one of what I see is one of the major hiccups in society, is that they go against the procreation of life.
Yes.
They create all these different systems out here that prevents the procreation of life. You have the LGBTQ population that is not into the space of procreation. This is a population in itself that is inclusive, to its own culture, right? And that culture is actually spreading out into other cultures and actually influencing and affecting other cultures. And I go to say this is that being who you are in the world, don't take it for granted. Don't take it lightly. We do have the power to influence other people and to affect the lives of other people, whether it may be a negative or a positive. And we also have the power in this land to actually create false and positive legacies, right?
Yes. Yes.
And people don't realize that these things carry on, and to not have a legacy in the land, what I would see takes away certain elements of life. Like
And
even when
yes.
because you got this time, in this time period, it's like being an adult in this time period and having children, right? Who you were when you had those children was actually who you were at that time, right? And it's never really taken into accountability when people actually go back into retrospection to see like who you were at that time, what you was actually going through, the different challenges, stuff that you was facing, obstacles that you was mounting, and they don't take that in consideration when they try to evaluate you as an individual. When they try to
Yes.
determine what is your value and what is your worth, they don't take into consideration the value of your life that you actually bestow to even have that person that come into the world,
And
right?
and that's why um I believe in pro-choice. I believe that a woman should have control over her body and nobody should impose on anyone their wishes for your body. But I also don't believe in abortion. I don't believe, because you never know. I think about just that right there. Suppose Bobby Brooks Wilson's mother, she got pregnant when she was around 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Now suppose she had not gone through with the pregnancy. She could very well,
Yeah,
14 years
it could have
old.
went a different way.
Right.
And then Bobby Brooke Wilson won't have an expression for life. He won't
Yes.
know what it is to actually have life and experience life and all the different joys of it. Even though his father might have taken life for granted or things of that nature, that gift of life was still bestowed upon him, and it's not a light manner. And I just want to say is like I don't want to have a conversation about the populations or their different preferences. I just want to basically point out that the power of influence that we have in the world is profound. It is phenomenal. Don't take it lightly. Don't think that your power of influence is meaningless. It's inclusive, right? No, it spreads out into the world, just like life. Who you are spreads out into the world. You make a comment on social media, it spread out into the world, right? You start doing different realities about who you are and expressing who you are, you will influence people in the world. Yesterday we was talking about. I was on the train. I was talking to a young man that I knew for a long time, and we were just talking about the dangers of actually being black men in this core society, and the misplaced values is actually placing society against men, right? That's actually born in this land, and
Yes.
actually see that the men that was born in this land are devalue or a misplaced value in the land because we have brought so much value to this land, but our value into this land is not magnetized. It's not put on podiums, right?
That's right.
And when you go into the world and you look into the world and you see all the praise and the honor of the people that lost their lives in the world, you'll see all these different nations in the world that's being honored that lost their lives, even up to the point of just 9/11. A historical point, a short historical point, has been magnitude higher than the whole slave trade put together in one box. When you go to the
Yes.
land, you don't see no memorials that actually depict what we have went through as a people. It
And
is
now those
wicked.
things are trying to be stripped away. And those things we're actually instead of making progress about magnifying the influence that we of people have had not only in the United States but all over this planet is trying to be stripped away. And I wanted to say, you when you mentioned that about black men, see, I think one of the worst travesties that in today's society is that black men and black women are pitted against each other. And we as black women sometimes help facilitate that by going along with the system and not helping to build up our men. And I believe that we as a race of people, when we are elevated to the heights that God has ordained for us, then we will be our influence on the world because we are a loving people. We are
Yeah,
a compassionate people. And when we are in our right state of mind, and we exhibit that love and that compassion and that kindness, if that was seen all over the world, then I believe that this world would come up out of the
yeah,
hatred that we see today.
that's right. Because the psychology. See, I'm trying to tell you, psychology is a language within itself. And how you doing, Michelle Edwards? Always good to see you. I wanted to connect with her. She wanted to do a podcast on dealing with domestic violence, and we connect with her. But I wanted to say that psychology is an unseen force, unseen, a lot of times a deadly force. It does, psychology does have its positivity to it, but in the space of the space of the men and women, especially particularly the black and the black man and black woman, the psychology is basically what it's supposed to be. If you are a nation of people and you're trodden on, and every nation in the world can step on you and get away with it, right? Every nation can create anything in the world, right? And feed off of you, but you can't do it against any other nation. You can go into your community and you can see every nation in your community doing business. You can go to other nation community and none of y'all is in their community doing any business. Matter of fact, they don't even want to do business with y'all sometime in their communities. They don't even need your money because their communities take care of
We
themselves.
don't even want to do business with us, Nathaniel. That's a painful thing right there. And see, and when we think that when somebody else rise, that means that we have to fall,
No,
no, it
we
does
all
not
supposed to
mean
rise.
that.
The point of elevation is to elevate. See, you when you afraid when you have, like, say animal, let's say an animal has 10 children, right? That animal goes around and check all 10 of those children for deficiencies to ensure that all 10 of those children are healthy. She doesn't focus on one of the children. She focuses on all 10 of the children to make sure that all she got a healthy litter, right? In this
Yes,
society, man is not making sure that the litter of his men are secure and protected,
right,
which entails that he is not insured and he is also not protected, right?
right,
I told a story about
right.
my grandfather. I won't tell it here, but I'll tell a story about my grandfather, and it was basically a story of legacy, right? My
Mm-hmm.
grandfather reached out to me in one of his darkest hours, and I wasn't able to fulfill the legacy of a grandson to him because he did not and would not instill legacy with me as a grandson to him in my youth. And that's really being important, right? Being there for you is actually being there for all of you. It's actually seeing your legacy. It's actually seeing the beauty of your children, you know what I'm saying? The beauty of your mothers or your fathers, even your friends and your relatives and things, your neighbors, things of that nature. It's about actually creating an extension of who you are in the world. so you can also be comforted about who you are in the world. You want to be seen in life. You don't want to be misconstrued or confused all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or reposition in the world because people don't want to understand you or cannot understand you. Right? You want to be a part of the world, and being you is actually just being part of that world. Is an extension of who you are.
And
What we are.
yes, but and to be there for you, first of all, you have to know who you are. Who are you? I think that's a question that if you don't know, we should all be asking, who am I? Who am
Yeah,
I?
and that's really that's one of the greatest questions that we have of all times, and that question will always be mystical in nature, right? We are not a captive force. We are a fleeing force of energy. We are not here to be captured. We are not here to be dictated to, determined, or analyzed,
That's
right?
why they call you a rebel.
Yeah, we are not here for any of those things. We are here to find a purpose, not just for the lives of who we are, because find a purpose for our own lives is the greatest manifestation of all times. But
Yes.
coming outside that manifestation and building the manifestations of others, there's no greater gift for a man to lay down his life for his friends, right? We need to understand these concepts and what these things are actually talking about, right? When our ancestors spoke about life and they spoke about the truth of life and the budding qualities of life and what it's supposed to do, what it's supposed to create more life, they were speaking about us always being a force of life and not destroying the force of life, which is actually us.
And you were talking about that energy. See, when we understand that we are energy, when we understand that we are energy, and see, energy is composed of negative force, positive force. How do we manifest the energy that we are? Do we manifest it as that negative side of us, or do we manifest it as that positive side? And that positive side is all about elevation. Now,
Yeah,
isn't it interesting? It's a
yeah.
duality.
It's a duality. It's a duality, right? And it's a living, breathing duality. It's not a duality that can be taken lightly. It's not a myth. It's not a myth. Be there for you, right? Because being there for you gives you comfort in life when it's time for you to meet you again. Look at this, guys. This whole cycle of life that you actually living out, it doesn't end right here. You have to face who you are. Even at your end, you have to face who you are, who you became, and what you actually brought and left into the world. This is a part of who you are, right? This is basically the concepts when we actually go through the land and experience deja vu. Deja vu is an awareness, it's a portal of awareness to show us that, hey, bro, this ain't the first time you're playing this game. Let's figure some things out. You remember this lady face? You never seen her face before? She all in your dreams. You seen a vision of her, right? Why? Because we go through different stages of life, right? And we will manifest who we are to our lives and to the world, regardless of we believe so or not. This is about being there for you and understanding your relationship to who you are. You can go out there and you can buy all these things in the world and you can fill up your cabinets with them and your garages with them and your hallways with them. But it's not you. It has nothing to do with you, right? You can go and you can conquer every man and woman that's in the world, and you can do all these different things. You can create laws of hate. You can create laws of peace, right? You can create, what I mean, laws that would save life and laws that would take life, right? But understand this: at the end of the day, you created those laws. No being in the world told you to be a lawmaker to actually create laws of destruction. It was you within you who you are to actually allow you to get in a
And
position.
letting that negative force that's in all of us, that
When?
negative energy that
When?
can destroy. That
Yeah,
negative
because
energy can destroy.
yeah, why? Because why can't it destroy? If you in a land that deals with documentation as its profoundness, right? It goes into books that determines a man's life or liberty, his the taking of his life or the releasing of his life, right? And some strange person was born 30 years ago, right? Came with a gift that they had a gift to understand laws and to write laws and put laws into application and say, you know what? I'm gonna take this gift. I'm gonna go into the U.S. government, right? And I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna start writing all type of laws. And I'm gonna get paid as a lawmaker. And I'm gonna live a life, a fabulous life as a lawmaker because laws change lives and also save them. So I'm gonna go in there and say, you know what? The law in the land is saying that black people are the endangered species, right? So I can create laws against that nation of people, and I will not be punished by it, nor be justified by anything or anyone in the universe. And that one of the greatest lies ever told. They set you up for the kill when they put you in that space and made you create laws against people's lives. They set you up, and they set you up so they can look back and see what happens to you, not just on a physical plane, but also on a spiritual plane.
Yeah, and that's why it's important, Nathaniel, that I believe that we know the power that we have within and not accept what someone tells us about ourselves. You can tell me all day
Yeah,
long
yeah.
and try to define who I am,
Because that's a
but you cannot
consequential level.
do
That's a
that if I know who I
consequential
am.
legacy. Yeah, because there's a scripture that was in the Bible and it was talking about Moses. And it was talking about the time when the Egyptians was like, we're gonna kill all the firstborn of the sons that's born. So they started, they actually came out with this campaign, we're gonna kill all the firstborn of children of Egypt. And they came to the midwife and it was like, yo, you didn't kill the firstborn sons. And it was like, well, we fear God more than we fear man. So you got to be real careful on what you allow people to implement into your heart to actually distribute out into the world, right? These man has power and man believes he tricks man to believe that no man can influence him. So when he influenced man, man believes that he influenced himself, right?
That's the trick. That trick,
He has one of the
trick,
greatest tricks ever told. He
trick.
convinces man of his immortality, of nature, which is a lie, is a trick, right? He deceives man to make man believe that he cannot be deceived by another man. He cannot be deceived by systems and laws. He
But
cannot
you
be
know what?
placed
In
into
the
trap.
Holy Quran, it speaks of that. It says that Satan came to God. Now, this is Satan, but you gotta go into the metaphysical
Yeah, I
world
get it.
to
I'm with it.
understand that a lot of things that are said
I'm
are
with it.
just
We're on the
but
same page.
Satan
We're on
came
the
to
same
God.
page.
Satan came to God
Yeah.
and said, I will deceive the whole world. I will deceive the whole world. Now, this is what Satan said to God. And really, you
That's right.
see that in society
Did he
today.
do it? Did he do it?
Yes, he did.
And I know one thing. I know how he did it, and I'm gonna show you just certain basic stuff, man. When man values a thing above man, he has been deceived in life.
And this is what Satan says to
This
God. I'm going to come in their straight path. That means the things that are before you that you see, the things that you think are not deceptive, you got to look into them because
that's right.
these are the very things that will deceive you.
Those are the deceptive elements of it, right? And I'll never forget this thing happened to me, and it's a real story. I was working in 34th Street, and it was a parking lot right next to where I was working at. So I came out of work, and I'm about to cross the parking lot, and I see this black, brand new, shiny car, right? This car was like black, beautiful. Not even a speck of dust was on this car. This car was gorgeous. So I see the car and I'm like, all right. And I see the guy that's in the car. And as I'm approaching the car, because I got to get around the car, he's looking at me and the signals that's in his eyes is telling me, because I'm from the streets. He's telling me, if you touch my car, you and I are gonna have major problems. So I gotta walk past the car and make sure I don't bump the car on my hip or my elbow or anything like that, even though it's not gonna leave a dent. But the fact that my being, my beautiful, glorious being, touched this inanimated object, right?
And he put more value in it than he did in you.
You see. So this is what's important. When I saw him do that, chills went through my body, and it was another metaphysical message that was given to me and showing me the values that man has placed upon man, or the deep value of man to the things that man has created. Man has created these things and placed value above these things more than he that is created for life itself.
And you see it every day.
You see it every day.
Every day.
Yeah. You know,
that people place more value on things than they do human life.
Yeah, even on death. You know, death is one of the greatest social parties in the world. People celebrate death more than they celebrate life, hands down. They do all type of things for people in the time of their death, what they would never do for that person in life.
Oh, you are so right. That's the time. A lot of times when families get together,
yeah,
the only time
in the days of death is when people come together, right? We don't understand. We have come into a space of society of valuing and loving death more than we love life.
Wow.
The things that we value in the world are all things of death. The houses, the cars, the TVs, the basically like the infamous parts of this person is famous. This person,
and you know what? I want to say this. This is an example of that, Nathaniel. I look at the politicians today, and they are all about for that unborn child, which is I agree with that, the unborn child. Because like I said, I don't agree with abortion. But how can you be fighting so hard for an unborn child, yet there's a child right out there outside your door sleeping on the concrete?
Because that child is outside. That child is outside sleeping on the concrete. I actually fall into a system of homelessness, of system of.
But you care more. I'm saying it's hypocrisy.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is the fact that we're not seeing why they care more. They don't care more because they care about.
They don't care about anybody. They don't care about.
From what I see spiritually, and this is my say so on it, and anybody can challenge me on it, they want to talk to me about it. This is my say so on it. I believe that these political figures, most of them are actually in that space of you pro-life, understands how this country is built, how this world is built. This world is built off of a life of others before they even born. They have placed us in different type of systems and eat off our lives before we even born. So if new life is not brought into the world, how are they going to fill up their prison systems? How are they going to fill up their domestic violence systems and their foster care systems and all the little wicked systems they create in society? How are they going to fill these different systems up if no new life is coming into the land? What are they going to eat off? Who are they going to eat off? They can't eat off my sons and daughters. I ain't got no sons and daughters. They need me to have sons and daughters. They can eat my sons and daughters alive and place them in all these little hanky-panky spaces and say that man violated the essence of life. You know what I'm saying? When he didn't even have the essence of life because you put these things in there for man that violate the essence of life. Don't say that your laws is about mercy, about compassion, and about truth. Your laws is about destruction and the disassociation of man according to man. These black men walking through the land, they not even seeing what love from the black women they walk through the land. I walk through this land every day, and black women give me the most weirdest energy in existence. It's a horror story.
And that's because we have been taught
Yeah.
to war with each other. Didn't I say that Satan says to God, you know, I am going to deceive the whole world? And we have been deceived of black women. I'm talking to you now, black woman. We have been deceived into thinking that we are better than our black man.
It's impossible.
That we have been deceived into not loving our black man. We have been deceived, black women.
This is my testimony to black women. If they want to understand the laws of the land pertaining to their black men, go do a social experiment and go to court for 1 month and look at the judgments that come in that courtroom against your people, and then look at the judgment that come in the courtroom against those that are not your people, and you will see. You
and
will
I want to
see
say
it.
this. I'm saying this out of love because, see, I understand the pain that we as black women have gone through, and I understand that pain. I really understand it because I've been there. I've been abused. You know, I have been almost beaten to death by a black man. But by the grace of God, by the grace of the Almighty, I can stand here today and say, I love my black brothers because I know that they have also been subjected to pain. I would not have been beaten the way I was if my black man had been taught to love himself.
Yeah, you know, and in that story you gave from the beginning about the two Wilsons, man, was really powerful. And it was so powerful that I want to use that, you know, as one of our endings, because you see how the beauty of life was basically transferred from one man to the next, even though those two men did not see each other. Like, this is a beautiful thing, right? And how this man was able to actually emulate all the songs that his father actually produced, and didn't even know that man was his father.
Didn't even know it was his father.
It shows that this shows the beauty of life that's basically being transitioned down, but also that harm that was associated to as a people when we was in this land, what it was doing to these in these different fields, inside these outhouses, and all that different things. Those things are also attached to us as well. This is why we have to go through a debriefment as a people to find out how we have been harmed and how we actually can go about and start healing one another as a people, and stop being so selfish with our lives, with our gifts, with our insight, with our purposes. Man attach money to everything. He see his brother in a hole. He see his brother need to come out the hole. He tells brother, for you to come out the hole, you got to pay me. You got to go find money in the world, mysterious money in the world, to give to me to help you come out the hole.
Now, the whole mentality is, I got mine. Now you get yours.
Get yours. That's, you got to get yours, you know. So it's basically like say, for instance, if everybody in the world, you know, was farmers, right? And the Most High said, you know, I'm going to judge y'all by your righteous deeds, you know what I mean, by preserving or killing your farm, right? So when it rained, the people that wasn't good, no rain going to hit your farm. The people that was good, the rain going to hit your farm.
Oh, Lord, none of us will get rain.
Yeah, how would you feel about that? What would be your insight about that, right? And these are the things that we're doing to each other. What we do not want the Most High to do to us, what we do not want Allah to do to us, and all these Hindu gods and all these different gods that they call by name, and we don't want these gods to do that to us. We have to actually stop doing these things to one another, because we are the gods of this life. We are the gods of this plane right here. And we play on this plane as if we're not the gods. We try to say that it's some other type of God that's doing these things.
In the Bible, didn't it say in the Bible, Jesus, I don't know exactly, you're the Bible scholar, but in the Bible it says, you say you love God. You say you love God, whom you have never seen.
That's
but
right.
then to your brother,
You
who
hate,
you see every day, you
and you
hate them.
hate them, and you hate them, right? So the power of life, right, is our glory for life. If you find anything greater than the power of life, my suggestion to you is to put it back. That's just my
Uh,
suggestion. I don't know
Ooh,
wherever you got it from, just put it right back and then run. I mean, like really run for your life, bro. Like keep it moving. Don't stick around and find out what's going on with it either, right? This is about us understanding that who we are as people does not only just reside with us, it also transitions out into the world, right? We are the manifestations of life. We are those metamorphoses for life that they're talking about. We are these spiritual principles for life that everybody speaks about in little Google books and stages and things of that nature. We are these, right? And when we choose not to protect who we are, we lose who we are,
that's right.
right? And I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you this. Right? People can say what they want to say, but I'm gonna say this directly. When you lose who you are around others, it would take hell and hot water to extract who you are out of them back to you.
Ooh.
They will hold on to it for dear life to ensure that you do not get back to who you are
And
and really
that's why
supposed to be
it's
in life.
important that we are aware and of the people that we surround ourselves with. You know, you can dip into a space. Nathaniel and I dip into spaces all the time because he tells me about all these different spaces that he dips into, and he will share himself with these different spaces that but he don't hang around long enough to get lost in these spaces.
But I have. But I
Oh,
have.
okay, go ahead.
But I have. And this is the reason why I've created Armor Data, right? Armor
I'm talking about
Data.
today, but you
Yeah, yeah, we could actually talk about this different time, but it's actually understanding that, when you go into spaces, you have to make sure what those spaces are for your life, right? And you have to make sure of who's in those rooms to preserve your life. Because if people want you to come into a space and they want you to be like a god-like figure, then it's time for you to flee out of that space, right? You're not here to be gods. You're here to learn from each other, to help each other grow and to develop and come out of hardships that have been created against our society on purpose, right? This is not a fly by night thing. This is not, oh, this just happened. This not just happened. This is a reality. This is something that was created. It was created on purpose. So when you go into spaces, understand what's in those different things. And when you leave parts of you there, make sure that you have enough of you to continue on with your journey. Don't be just
yes.
moving yourself and dropping yourself everywhere. And the people that you drop yourself for, they will not come back and preserve you. They will not come back and increase you. They will give you less than you gave them. You will go out and you will do all type of things for them and put your life on the social platter for them, right? And when you come back to them, they will give you crumbs. You know what I'm saying? When you gave them a whole loaf of bread, they will give you a crumb for the work that you did. Even though they're still eating off that bread that you gave them, they're only going to take a speck of it and give it back to you. So you got to be really careful when we come into this space of knowing you or even striving to know you, that this is uh this is sacred. This is
Yes,
this is sacred,
yes.
man. This is
And
yeah, this
Nathaniel, when you know you and you know that you are a God, not the God, but a God, but that's not for you to walk around in arrogance.
has nothing to do with you.
It has nothing to do with you walking around thinking that this makes you top dog.
The glory of it has nothing to do with you. And that's one of the things that this is why the destruction of life comes so fluent to us, because man man, when I say man, I'm talking about man and woman, comes to a certain space of glory, right? That's a gift to them from the universe. And this gift is given to them just like it was given to Moses, just like it was given to Muhammad, to spread life, right? You know, and to bring forth good cheer about life, right?
Yes.
This is what these things are given for. Then, but what happens in society, they have created these things as funnels for economics. They have created these things as funnels to control others and to dominate others. It's not a space of peace and of love. If I go into a Christian church and I say I'm a Jehovah's Witness, I got problems. If I go into a Christian church and I say I'm a Catholic, I'm gonna have problems, right? The terminologies and lesson plans they got from these different religions are going to be black and white, right? Even though it's
I
coming from the
am
same.
going to deceive the whole world.
That's right.
Satan says,
That's
I'm
right.
coming
That's right.
and I'm coming in your straight path.
That's
I'm
right. So even
coming
with the
in
Quran,
religion. I'm
right? How
coming
many?
in religion.
That's right. How many variants of the Quran are there? How many variants of Muslims are there? Right? So we get to see, even though we have these books are not solid in totality, which means that all men that come to these books are not the same men. All
And
men
that's
in these
why,
books,
Nathaniel, and that's why I say I'm a Muslim. I'm not Shiite.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
Sunni.
yeah,
I'm not any of these sects.
yeah.
I am
It's
a
Muslim, right?
Muslim.
And it goes to show the separation of one thing, which must actually be this book. This one book is separated into many, many particles, right? And if you're
The
looking at these
Quran
different
is not,
particles,
man has done it, not the
no,
Quran
not
itself.
that.
No,
It hasn't been
no,
a Quran. It's not the Quran. It's man.
that's right. That's
Man
what
has come
man
to us.
has done.
Yeah, man has come to a space and said, this space is not pure. Let me change it. Right? So other men that come to this man, he said, well, these are changes that I see. And the other man said, I see, these are changes that I see. Another man said, this is the reality that I see. And now you have 50 different variations from one book.
That's why you have to know. You
You
have to
gotta
know for
know.
yourself.
And
You have to
knowing is being
know.
there for you. That's what
You
knowing
have
is
to
about.
be there
For
for
you.
you.
You have to be there for you. We can't stress it enough. We can't stress it enough because you can get so lost in this world, man, that you will forget about you. You cannot do it. You cannot
Do
forget about
not
you.
ever be afraid to do your research. Read, read, read in
Meditate,
the Holy Quran.
fast,
The one
study.
instruction, the first
You know,
instruction that was given to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the first instruction was read, 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 read. That means you do that for yourself. You do the research. You look into everything. Don't just take what someone tells you. Don't take what Nathaniel and I are saying.
definitely not. Definitely not.
Don't take it for what
Definitely
we're,
not.
go into it, read.
Look at it.
I
Pay
truly want you
attention to it.
to investigate Bobby Brook
Why?
Wilson.
Why would we want that? Because we are life. I can't stress it
That's
enough.
right.
We are life. We are here for life and for life purposes. All this other stuff that they have attached to life has nothing to do with us. These are things that's attached to life. We put materialisms over one another. You know what I'm saying? And we put other things over one another that has no value, right? And we leave each other in a world where we just like some of us is like fending for ourselves, but we need to understand that we have to be true to us. Even when the world turns its back on us, even when no one sees who we are or what we're doing or what we're becoming, it doesn't even matter. What matters at the end of the day is that you got to lock yourself into you and you got to find the purposes for who you are in this life in order to always be true to who you are.
A nice way to end this beautiful conversation, Nathaniel. Be there for you.
That's right. Be there for you.
Thank you so much, Nathaniel, for this beautiful, beautiful conversation. I thank our audience for being there and supporting us. Please go to we're on so many different
Yeah,
platforms
you're on
now.
Apple,
Nathaniel,
Amazon
Nathaniel,
Music.
Nathaniel has us out there on so many platforms.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I
glory to
don't
the
think
Most
you can
High.
miss I
Glory to
am
the
the
Most High.
data. I don't think you'll be able to miss it anywhere you go. You'll be able to find I am the data.
If you see our
Support
beautiful
us,
logo, just look at our beautiful logo. So, it's
and
there.
you'll
Just
find us. You'll find us. And so, with that, Nathaniel, I want to leave us um, with a moment of meditation.
I thought you were going to sing.
Nathaniel, I'll talk to you after this, okay? I have a few things that I want to say to you in private, okay? All right? So you stick around.
I'm fleeing after this. I'm fleeing after
Oh, if you're in a comfortable place where you feel comfortable to close your eyes and you feel safe, close your eyes. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. To the count of 4. Let it out as though you're breathing through a straw through your mouth. Let it out. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Another deep breath. Let it out slowly. Relax the top of your head. Relax your forehead. Relax your face muscles. Relax. Come down into your neck. Relax. Breathing in. Breathe out. Relax your shoulders. Oh, move your shoulders. Oh, that feels good. Move your shoulders. Relax. Going down your arms. Relax. Oh, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Wiggle your fingers. Relax. Oh, relax. Come down your body, relaxing. Relax. On down your body, relaxing as you go. Relax your legs. Oh, relax. Go on down to your feet. Relax. Wiggle your feet. Wiggle your toes. Ah, relax. I am going to count backwards from 5. We are going to take a deep breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, guys. Peace and blessings.